Hello my dear gamers. After a busy and eventful week, it's time for another episode of gaming news covering the latest events. A lot has happened recently, including the release of Atomic Heart and NPRES keeping their promise. Steam also has a new hit. So, get comfortable, grab some leftover pancakes with condensed milk, and please give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon. This is Subgamer Channel, and we're getting started. And as is tradition, let's start with the news. Bethesda has admitted that an inaccurate message was posted on their website in the E3 section about their upcoming vampire shooter game, Redfall. According to new information, the physical version of the standard Xbox edition of the game will include a Blu-ray disc. The developers clarified that the previous message was referring to a buyback update. Additionally, new footage of the game's world has surfaced online, showcasing a massive, destroyed city overrun by bloodthirsty monsters. The developers at Arcane Studios have created their largest map ever and paid special attention to numerous locations where players will have to fight enemies to survive. The trailer also shows how characters can work together to defeat groups of vampires, including those with special abilities. A variety of gadgets will be useful in destroying enemies and completing missions. Rovio, known for its popular Angry Birds game series, has decided to remove one of its old games, Rovio Classics Angry Birds, from Google Play on February 23, 2023. The developers called this decision a result of the game having a negative impact on the popularity of other games in Rovio's portfolio. However, owners of iOS devices can still play the game as it will be renamed Red's First Fight and will be available on the App Store. Although Rovio Classics Angry Birds is an old game, many fans still enjoy it. This decision by Rovio has caused annoyance among these fans, who believe that the old game does not hinder the enjoyment of newer games. However, it is possible that Rovio wants to focus its efforts on promoting new games and ensuring their popularity, which is why they decided to remove old games from their portfolio. Hacker Empress announced the completion of the hack of the game Hogwarts Legacy, which has already appeared on torrent sites. The original game was released on February 10th, so the completion of all manipulations took about 12 days instead of the previously reported 10. Initially, a text file appeared on the torrents along with the crack, in which Empress expressed solidarity with writer J.K. Rowling and condemned all those who expressed negative attitudes towards her. In a Telegram chat for the Impress community, she wrote, "I hope now everyone will finally calm down. You people can be very crazy." Before releasing the crack, Empress conducted 6 beta tests for the 17 version of the anti-piracy protection de nouveau. She fixed numerous errors and added gameplay bonuses to provide the best gaming experience for users. Although game hacking is a violation of copyright law, many users consider it necessary to test the game before purchasing or due to unsatisfactory performance of anti-piracy protection. However, this also creates a security threat and can lead to the spread of malicious code and leakage of personal information. Would love to hear your opinion in the comments. Does piracy contribute to the development of the industry or hinder it? The highly anticipated survival horror action game Sons of the Forest was finally released on the early access platform on Steam. Despite some server issues, players were able to purchase the game and start playing it. In the first few hours after the launch, Sons of the Forest had 269,563 concurrent players, which is a very impressive result for a project from the small studio and Night Games Limited and publisher New Night. According to many users, Sons of the Forest has lived up to expectations. At the time of writing, the game has an 89% positive review rating after 10,600 reviews. However, some players have complaints about the game's optimization, which is a common occurrence for projects in early access mode. Developers promise that the full version of the game will be available in 6-8 months and will not be more expensive than the earlier version. Players can play both in single-player and up to 8-player cooperative multiplayer mode. In the near future, developers plan to add new items and buildings, introduce additional mechanics, and expand the storyline. Sons of the Forest promises to be one of the best horror action games on the market. The highly anticipated release of Atomic Heart has finally arrived, and many players have already set out to explore the Munfish world full of amazing discoveries and secrets. Among them are true Easter egg lovers who have decided to investigate every corner of the game world. During their search, they came across a mysterious phone number and decided to call it. Unbelievably, the creator of the game himself answered on the other end of the line.
Алло.
Алло, это техподдержка станции «Маяк»?
Да, верно.
Да, кому я дозвонился, если не секрет?
Да, разработчика этой станции «Маяк».
After reaching him, they started a friendly conversation during which the game's creator explained how this Easter egg came to be in the game. It turns out that the idea to include this trick came from his leading artist working on the Mayak Station project, who put the creator's number in the game without informing his boss. Interestingly, according to the game's creator, about 20 people have already called this number, which suggests how many people are paying close attention to every detail of the game. Who knows, there may be many more interesting secrets in the game waiting for their explorers. Some players who have studied the twin models in Atomic Heart have come to the conclusion that they are not robots at all. Looking behind the texture of the metallic mask, you can clearly see the face of a girl who appears to be encased in metal. It's worth noting that the height of the twins is over 2.5 meters, and this model could be either a simple placeholder or a secret part of the game that the community will be solving for several weeks, months, or even years. Additionally, in the community maps, several players reported an unusual error where a pop-up notification appears when targeting a car, saying available in the full version. Some players were able to fix the issue with a simple restart of Atomic Heart, file integrity check, or full reinstallation of the game. Based on feedback, this issue appears to be relevant to the PC version of Atomic Heart. Some players are already mentally prepared to return the game if the developers do not solve the problem soon. There is an opinion that the problem is related to the fact that an incomplete version of Atomic Heart was released initially. However, the error is likely already fixed by now. While fans are waiting for details about Marvel's Wolverine for PlayStation 5, an enthusiast teaser play releases a second concept trailer showcasing how the game about Wolverine on Unreal 5 engine might look like. In the previous video, a YouTuber showed Logan leaving a bar, while the fresh trailer is more detailed in terms of staging. In the new trailer, Wolverine arrives at a bar on his pickup truck, where a fight with bikers ensues, and then he meets with the police. Based on the concept trailer, the author envisions the game as an action-adventure set in a semi-open world in a neo-Western style. It was previously announced that the upcoming game about Wolverine will structurally resemble the last two parts of God of War. Additionally, the game adaptation of Wolverine comics will have an R-age rating, with players expecting brutal scenes of violence. The PlayStation lifestyle publication drew attention to the Spanish blogger Betty Bates, who has 160,000 followers on Twitch. During the Wild Project podcast, he shared some interesting unconfirmed information about a PC port of Bloodborne. The blogger stated that while the Bloodborne version was in development by the Chinese division of the Virtuous Company, which specializes in assisting major publishers in porting games to new platforms, it was also responsible for porting Horizon Zero Dawn to PCs. However, the result was unsatisfactory in the eyes of Sony, with players complaining about platform optimization issues. As a result, the platform holder decided to terminate its cooperation with the team and cancel the PC version of Bloodborne. Developers from Guerrilla Games, who had support from Nix's software, were brought in to fix Horizon Zero Dawn for PC, which eventually became part of PlayStation Studios. Rumors about a PC port of Bloodborne have been circulating online for several years, with fans even launching a mass campaign on social media to demand the game's resurrection. Last year, well-known data miner Lance McDonald stated that there were no technical limitations for releasing a Bloodborne remaster on PlayStation 5 and PC, and Sony could do it anytime without From Software's support. In response to this, insider Jeff Grubb suggested that the publisher wouldn't just give the game to any first-party studio, especially considering the complex code. However, McDonald believed that Sony had all the necessary tools for porting the PS4 exclusive on its shelf, with the only question being whether the company would ever use them. The Japanese edition of CG World interviewed key authors of the Silent Hill F horror game, which was released on October 20th, 2022. It was revealed that work on the first teaser began at the very beginning of production, as explained by producer Konami Moto Komodo. Since the game is set in Japan, they wanted to ask a Japanese visual effects company to produce the teaser. Shiragumi, who worked with them on previous games, seemed the most suitable, so they made the offer to their specialists. The author notes that in preparation for creating the trailer, they visited many libraries in Tokyo, collecting photos of Japan in the 1960s to create a realistic atmosphere. The developers studied 35 books with descriptions of various details of interior and exterior design, from different types of gates and torii to window frames and furniture. Some people noted that in Silent Hill F, the main theme is the combination of beauty and horror, which are characteristic features of the series. The events of the game will take place in a Japanese village in the 1960s, and the developers intend to take into account all the details of that era. The girl in the trailer is not the main heroine of the game, but she will play a certain role. Bloomberg journalist Jason Schreier revealed on Twitter that Rocksteady started working on Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League in 2017. He noted that after the release of Batman Arkham Knight, the studio initially worked on Batman Arkham VR and cancelled an unannounced game, which was not about Superman. Regarding the negative response to the Suicide Squad, Schreier commented that one of the problems with modern big-budget video games, which take 5 to 6 years to create, is that trends that were relevant in 2017, such as game services, may be less appealing in 2023. Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League will be released on May 26th for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series XS. It has been previously announced that the game will require a constant internet connection to play, and the online and service elements showcased in the gameplay presentation have received criticism online. The gameplay presentation from State of Play received a lot of dislikes. That's all we have for now, but wait, before we finish, I would like to thank you all again, my friends, for supporting us with views, likes, comments, and subscriptions. And now, it's time to move to the comments section and share your thoughts on the news you've heard. See you on Subgamer. Watch and play with us.